I'm looking like so tired today. Happy Wednesday. It's been a few days. I'm gonna say a quick little prayer. So I normally go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but yesterday I just kind of wasn't able to. I had some other things come up, so I was live and just come on here and right before this live, I was given a message to speak about how to move forward after you've transmuted old patterns. So, what does that even mean, or like, how do I explain that? A lot of us have navigated different cycles and patterns in our lives. And some of those things we've gone through have not been easy. And some of those things we've gone through have probably been like years of trial and error, patterns, feeling through things, just like so much. And once we actually feel like a breakthrough has happened, sometimes that can happen because time has been moving and we just are healing as we go, or sometimes we just get like so a big moment of clarity and we realize, maybe what was causing us to be stagnant. Sometimes we we just mature and life is our greatest teacher. I will say building my relationship with God and getting closer with God has been really helping me, because I think a lot of times we try to um we try to figure things out on our own, and we don't have to. I think that this reality is not always easy, but I do think that God gives us clarity, and God gives us an idea of where to go. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for joining. We're talking about how to move forward after you transmute energy. So, what is that like? This is probably one of the strangest experiences, because when we're stuck in thought loops, which are oftentimes caused by demonic energies or energies that are of a intention, how do I say this, of a parasitic nature, um they're one of the ways that they influence us is through our minds. And so when you're stuck in thought loops, it can feel like sometimes like you don't know where to go. Like you may just be like, for lack of a better word, it can leave you like frozen in your tracks, because you're standing in it and it feels so real. I think this is why some people struggle with anxiety. I think this is why some people struggle with kind of like fear of what's going to happen next, because these thought loops just keep spiraling and spiraling and circling and circling. Again, a lot of these thoughts are influenced by parasitic energies that are interdimensional. We don't necessarily see them because their dimension, from what I've seen and become aware of and been, this idea has come through, is their dimension is kind of like overlaid over us. So it may not make like sense all the way, but they can influence us and we may not see them. Some people can see them, but I would say a majority of the world maybe doesn't see them, but you can feel them. So, anyways, as we continue to evolve as a human collective, we have to begin to appreciate the idea that we cannot think our way through things as much when it comes to specifically, because there are still things where thinking through it is important. But what I'm referring to is these thought loops and these kind of like patterns that have kept us stuck. We can't always think our way through those. Sometimes you have to feel your way through. What do I mean by this? You can't really think your way through a thought loop because the inverted twisted thought that was planted in your awareness is already not your truth. So instead of trying to rationalize it because it's already not your truth, you have to almost feel your way through it, because the more you think about it, the more stuck you get. It's almost like quicksand. The more you're trying to get out of it and you're trying to move through it, the more stuck you will feel. So, why does that happen though? Because sometimes you may feel like, oh, well, what if like I'm just thinking through something and I'm trying to be logical, right? Like I just want to have logic. Logic is definitely helpful. Logic definitely can help you navigate some of these false thoughts that are planted in your spirit. The thing is, as helpful as logic is, sometimes the way that you navigate it surpasses logic because it's an energetic experience. A lot of times, logic will tell us to think our way through something. Let me see what y'all are saying in the comments. 1 second, real quick. Okay, I'm back. What are we saying in here? Just passing through for whatever reason. Stop for a few minutes to have a thanks guys for being here. Hi. Yep, exactly, Mr. Michael. There's definitely a spiritual battle going on this planet. A lot of us aren't able to see it, but you can definitely feel it. A lot of times our thoughts are influenced by these parasitic energies. They are interdimensional, so you may not see them, but they are very much around us and they feed off our emotions. And a lot of times, if we're afraid, they can feed off of our fear, things like that. We'll talk more about that soon. By the way, guys, my name is Lala. If you're new here, welcome. I do have a community here on YouTube that I'm building, and you can check it out, subscribe, like, share this with a friend. I do have a Patreon that I just started as well, and I'll be having an upcoming class very soon, probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So you can learn a little bit more about me on there, and I'll be sharing more content and things that I don't necessarily talk about on here on there. But yes, so after you navigate through really dense energies, there's like this momentum that is present. And I've realized it's almost like inertia. I don't know if y'all remember in science class when we learned about inertia, but it's like when a moving vehicle all of a sudden changes direction. Like if you're driving in a car and you're going straight, but then all of a sudden you have to turn. Like if you're going in like you're getting off the interstate or off of like a highway and you have to turn all of a sudden, the car wants to keep going straight because the force is going straight. But when you turn, you're gonna feel this force that kind of like pushes against the direction you're going in. And that's kind of what happens when you start to pass through or transmute old patterns that you may have used to be stuck in. Because when you're navigating dense thought forms, your body, there's a biochemical response that is created. And so your body is feeling different sensations from that. So when you're deciding to not maybe exist in that anymore or play in that anymore, you're gonna feel sensations of fear, and you're gonna feel or experience almost like these thoughts that come through that are like trying to convince you to keep doing what you've been doing, or to almost like telling you like you can't stop what you've been doing because then XYZ bad thing will happen. One, our minds just want to keep us safe. So sometimes that's our mind's way of like not exerting so much effort and energy to change a habit or a pattern. So some of that is literally just like a biochemical process. But the other part of it is these parasitic energies, they know how to how to keep you stuck in patterns. And this is really kind of the foundation of what leads to addiction. There's a lot of different addictions that exist in this world. Um, the foundation of them, a lot of times, is a lack of awareness regarding how the pattern is persisting. And it's also the biochemical feedback loops that are created from these thoughts. If you are experiencing that inertia or that resistance after you become aware that some type of pattern is no longer serving you, and I'm speaking about thought patterns, you're going to feel this really intense resistance, or kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it. It feels almost like you want to let go of it, but there's something in you that's like trying to kind of like stay still in it or figure it out. But the thing is, you cannot think your way through it, because thinking through it just keeps the thought loops going around and around and around and around. So instead, you have to feel your way through it. And you can feel your way through it by breathing really, really deep, getting super, super present with what you're feeling and what's going on. Then you're going to stay in that flow state of what your truth feels like, literally. You're gonna feel a lot of different momentums of energy moving through you. It's sometimes a little odd and it sometimes feels strange, but you're gonna stand in your truth. You're gonna feel that energy moving through you, and you're literally going to move in your truth, fearlessly, confidently, and boldly, and letting your body and God guide you to safety every single time. It may feel a little weird. You may hear like the little whispers of like how you can't do it or something bad's gonna happen or etc., etc. But it doesn't even matter, because those things, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, because feeling that difficultness and uncomfortability is still valid, but those thoughts are foundationless because they're not your truth. They're just little whispers trying to keep you stuck in the thought loops and the patterns that you've been navigating, so that those parasitic energies can continue to feed themselves off of your pain and suffering. Ooh, I needed to hear that myself, because right before this live, I was really thinking about it, and I was like, how do I even talk about this? Like, how do I even make this make sense? But that's really what it is. It all just comes down to these energies are doing the things that they're designed to do to feed themselves. And I was watching a Carrie K video earlier about this, and she was breaking it down, and it's like it's it's a parasitic energy. So, anyways, guys, this was kind of a deep topic, but I felt like I had to talk about this. It was coming through so strongly today, but I just wanted to make sure I shared this so that, you know, everyone can learn something from this, and um, hopefully this can help you guys in any way that maybe that you're navigating this. And If you resonated with this topic, definitely like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who may need this message. And I am building my free Patreon community. I will put the link below this video. So I would love for you guys to hop over and join me over there. I will be having a class slash training coming up very soon on my free Patreon, and I'm going to be posting more details on there, but I will share it on here as well. And I would love to have you guys join me. Thank you so much for being here, and you have a great rest of your day.